Hey folks, today I just want to talk a little bit about the BRICS. I hear a lot of talk going on out there, and that's all good. The more discussion, the better. The more perspectives, the more information that's out there, the better things will be. However, I want to go over it from my perspective of what's going down in the BRICS bloc. And let's start with Brazil. Okay, let's just go through the BRICS. Brazil right now is having conflict with China and has put tariffs on China, just like the US. Not quite as severe, but very similar, okay? And Trump's new tariffs on China, they're pretty much equal, okay? So, and Brazil is also shutting down a Chinese car manufacturing plant due to labor violations, okay? So China is pretty much irritating everybody it's doing business with, okay? Even its closest allies, okay, are getting deeply upset with China. So Brazil is economically okay as things stand now, but now the U.S. has put tariffs on Brazil as well, okay? And nobody, to include Brazil, will take the Russian ruble, okay? And we'll get into that next. Russia, okay. Russian ruble is worthless on the global market, even to the BRICS bloc. Nobody wants it. So Russia's having to trade hard assets for anything they want, okay? And they're also being forced with regards to oil trade to have to get the Indian rupee, the Chinese yuan, or something other than the Russian ruble. So all of Russia's supposed allies in the BRICS bloc won't even take the ruble. Okay? So there's the stance of Russia. That leads me to the economic dumpster fire that's coming for Russia. Okay? And it's already happening. They can't buy mangoes or bananas anymore. They're talking about having to grow their own because nobody wants the ruble. So how do you do trade if your currency is useless in the global market? You have to trade tangible assets or your sovereign wealth fund. So it won't be long before that sovereign wealth fund is eaten right through. And then Russia's left with a ruble that has no value on the global market. Now, what do you do? What do you do as a nation if that happens to you? Okay, so they can run their internal war economy for a while, but it's just going to continue to cannibalize itself, okay? And we'll get to that on another video if you want to dive deeper into Russia. Let's go to India. Well, India is probably the strongest brick in the BRICS. And the economy's growing. I may be investing there long term as things go forward. I want to see how the global markets play out over the next 6 months to a year first before I make any permanent long-term decisions with regards to investing. I just feel that the turbulation is so bad in the whole globe that I don't want to make any moves at this time. But India has a strong economy growing. The rupee is somewhat stable. However, it goes through periods of instability, as we discussed on one of the silver videos. And India does have challenges going forward. Obviously, it's in conflict with China, Pakistan, and other places. So that's another thing. China, again, in conflict with India. So if all of these countries are going to try and make something work, but they're in conflict with each other, such as Brazil and China, and India and China, right? Nobody wants the Russian ruble. This is just so far in the BRICS, okay? How are you going to make this work? Even with all the additions to the BRICS bloc of countries wanting to trade in the BRICS bloc that is beneficial for them, okay? And we'll get into many of those later, like the Saudis. Okay, I'll do that later. Okay, so China. Let's look at China now. China has 3 times the debt that the U.S. does. okay, debt to GDP. And they're having to dump U.S. treasuries. A lot of people are panicking about that in the global or in the prepper world, okay, using the BRICS as a panic button. But China is desperately having to get cash so that they can cover the debt bomb that's going off inside of China right now, okay? And I'll get into that in another video as to how that may correlate into gold and silver later as to why I'm staying away from all of it, okay? Everything, all right? So China has 3 times the debt, okay? And their housing market is a dumpster fire. Their stock market has been severely damaged, okay? And their bond market's coming under severe pressure, okay? And their debt to GDP is 3 times greater than that of the US. So there you go. There's China that used to be the big brick in the BRICS bloc. Having conflict with other nations such as Brazil and India. And let's get to South Africa. Just a dumpster fire, okay? South Africa is a dumpster fire economically, okay? They can't even keep the lights on, for crying out loud, right? Their electric grid goes down and up and down and up. They just can't keep it going. And you look at Cuba, complete dumpster fire as well. We look at anybody associated. Argentina, I don't know if they're officially in the BRICS yet, but they've turned it around. And how did they do it? They stopped trading in their own currency and they started using other currencies, okay, to help stabilize that. And had you invested in the Argentine market, stock market, that might have been a very good play way back when. Not now, but back when, okay? But anyway, and that's why a lot of people are talking stay in the stock market, okay? Because as currency goes down, tangible assets go up, don't they? Okay, so just food for thought. I'm not giving you any economics advice. I never do, right? So you have to make all the sensible decisions that are right for you. And this time is too turbulent to call anything. I won't call anything because I have no idea what's coming. Neither does anybody else of any reasonable intelligence. We can assume, but not with any high probability right now. It's just almost impossible. There are too many variables in the world. Okay, so what I've just told you about the BRICS is it's not too rosy, is it? Okay, and South Africa came to the U.S. wanting help, and what did Trump do? Basically threw them out. All right, so why are they coming to us? If the BRICS bloc is so good, why are they all begging the IMF for money? The World Bank, the U.S., Europe. For all of you that think the BRICS bloc is somehow working, why are they coming to the West for money? Why do they need help? Why can't they help each other? So what's really going on? What I want you to do is take a deep dive in truth and reality and not listen to fear porn or hype or people trying to sell you stuff. Take a deep dive in reality and what's going on. The last thing I want to say is all these countries, one thing they have is severe corruption, financially, monetarily. The U.S. has corruption. These countries have severe corruption, all of them, okay? So that's another problem that the entire BRICS bloc has, okay? And that's part of the problem that they all have trying to work together. And if they ever did succeed and were able to get away from the West, they would just cannibalize each other. And they all know that, okay? And that's why it's just not working very well, okay? And the truth is in the proof. Why are they coming to the West for money and help? If they're so good, why are they coming to the West for help? Ask yourself this question, then do your own homework, your own research, and figure it out. Don't listen to fear porn. Jim out.